joining this morning. So this morning we are have a special meeting here. Beginning the first of the year, well, the first of 2020, the club got together and wanted to acknowledge a resident that in Natomas did some good for the community, whether it be youth, whether it be adults, whether it be in healthcare, wherever it was. We searched out and we thought, let's recognize somebody who really is an unsung hero and has done a lot for our community. So we, with Dennis's help and in magazine, we put together a ballot with some stipulations, not stipulations, but guidelines on wanted the guest to, wanted the honoree to be just doesn't have to live here, even though we're lucky enough to find one who did live here, but did some good in the community. So they not their job, but some volunteer work, extra hour stuff, helping people, both civically, both in the schools and with youth when adults. So that's kind of where we did, and we got many applications, and the committee put together with Ernie and David and myself, and we are here today to recognize our winner. So the club knows it's Amie. So I'm going to give some. I'm going to just give some highlights, and then ask Mayor Fargo and Dennis to maybe add in a few extra words, and then we'll hear from Amie in a minute. Okay. So Amie is the founder and president of the Natomas Garden and Arts Club. Her passion. For many years, until the pandemic changed things, she ran Miss T's Cafe in the South Natomas Center. And what really struck me is from her restaurant, whatever the event was, Amie donated food to that event. And even if a youth came in and didn't quite have the funds to cover whatever they were getting, Amie was the bank as well, okay, for the youth to carry them. Also co-founder of Chalk It Up, and is working tirelessly now in the community. One new thing she's doing is Miles for Monarchs. And just an effort in the community just for the goodness of all of us. And Heather nominated her, Mayor Fargo nominated her, and the line that really caught me was, Amie is the spirit of the community center. So Amie, on behalf of Sal Cortez and the entire members of the Natomas Rotary Club, we want to present you with our Rotary Club of Natomas Star Award for this year. Amie Tokuhamu Chapman. Thank you so much, Amie, for joining us. We have a certificate for you. Nice certificate that will get to you. And also we have a $100 check that you wanted to donate to the Garden Club. So I will drop that in the mail today. And then a $100 check made out to you for whatever, okay? Something for you, the spa or whatever, more chalk, whatever.
More chalk, no doubt.
So we are thrilled to have you join us today. We're thrilled to give this to you. You're a beacon in the community. And so let's hear it for Amie, and thank you so much. Dennis, why don't you take a couple minutes and just say something to Amie or to the group, and then Mayor Fargo, if you could take a couple minutes, and then Amie, you ended up, and then let us know about your passion about the Garden Club, or a little bit about you as well, so we can get to know you better. I want to next week at a social distance gathering someplace, we'll take a picture and I'll give you the certificate. Okay.
Yeah, let me know and I'll come and get a high-res picture.
Okay, very good, very good. So Dennis, why don't you take a few minutes and tell us about Amie?
Well, I've known Amie since she opened that up, the Miss T's Good to Go Cafe, and she still makes the best quiche ever. If you ever get your hands on one, know that. But Amie has been energetic and a real asset to the Natomas community. And not only do I know that just because I know her, but every time she does something, I'm out there getting a picture of it and putting it in the magazine. In fact, Angela, her daughter Angela, who she mentioned earlier, has been on the cover of the magazine because she's an accomplished artist. So the magazine has been covering what she's been doing. In fact, the magazine this year is now 16 years in publication. So that's quite a long time for a publication. And it was run by me and 2 cats. But I really appreciate having Amie in the community. More communities should have people getting involved like this. And I want to thank the Rotary for creating the award. I think it's important to recognize and have ceremony on people's contribution in the community.
All right. Thank you, Dennis. Mayor?
Thank you. Thank you, Dick, for inviting me to join you this morning, and good to see all the Rotary members here. You guys have been an important club for Natomas for quite a long time, and I'm glad you're still meeting, even if it's just with Zoom. I know you'll be meeting again in person soon now that we have a vaccine for all of us. But I nominated Amie. Dennis reached out and reminded me about the competition and the award. And the first person that came to my mind was Amie, because she is really the spirit of the South Natomas Community Center. And it's unfortunate that the cafe won't be there again after COVID. But maybe we could negotiate something with the city long term, or I know that she's going to be going on to doing other things that are just as important to her and just as important to the community. Like I mentioned earlier, I've known Amie since I believe it was 1990 or 91 when she came to my office and asked me if I could help make Chalk It Up happen, because the city staff thought it was a liability issue and didn't want her to do the event in what was then Plaza Park and now Cesar Chavez Plaza. And I didn't understand what the liability issue was and talked to staff, and we were able to make that event happen, and it's still going today. And so she's part of the spirit of that event as well. She's done a lot of Chalk It Up events here in South Natomas as well, both at the community center and at our future garden and arts center. And when I took that idea to her, she immediately put out a piece of paper at the cafe and started signing up people to form a Natomas Garden and Art Club to support the future Garden and Art Center. So she's one of those people that doesn't just talk about things, and I'm not sure I ever hear her complain, but she is a woman of action and has made a tremendous difference here in the South Natomas community, which I think rolls over a little bit to those of you in North Natomas as well. But we're lucky enough to have her in our community, and she's one of the more active members that we have. She's recently been reaching out to the Northgate Gardenland community as it relates to arts and murals. Which has been really helpful. And so we're looking at how we can work more closely together throughout the community. So anyway, she's one of those go-to people that I go to not only for quiche and pie, but she was also a big supporter of SNUG, the South Natomas Urban Greening Program. She's on that advisory committee and has provided cookies and muffins at all of our events. And so I'm proud of her. I'm really thankful to the Natomas Rotary for recognizing her for everything she's done. And I'm glad it's not any one of those, lifetime awards, because she's got a whole lifetime left of things to do for us. So we look forward to working with you in the future, Amie. And thank you to all the Rotarians on the call today. And I do have to let you know, my dad was a lifelong Rotarian and actually made me one of those Paul Harris Fellows. And so I'm well aware of Rotary and all the good things that you all do. So keep it up. And you too, Amie. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Mayor, so much. All right, Amie, before you start, one condition of this award, when we can meet at Rotary meeting, we expect some nice cookies or something, scones.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Whatever you want. It just happens. I don't even plan it. They just, follow me where I go. So
Forget the cookies, the chocolate covered strawberries.
Okay, well,
We can do those too.
one of those things, Amy, sometime, and we can meet again. Okay.
Yeah. Amy,
Anytime.
Dick, could I just add one more quick thing that fits in the theme with Dennis and Heather? Amy, it's a story that speaks to your heart once again. You may remember I used to serve on the Natomas Community Association, and
Yeah.
I'd get off the bus and go to the meeting room there once a month. And bless your heart, you stayed open a little bit later on your own, so that those of us that went to that late evening meeting, we could, because some of us would arrive hungry, and I was one of them. And
Oh,
you stayed open late to allow us to get the good eats. So I wanted just to add that personal touch, and it fits right in with what we've heard from the others. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, David.
From what
thank you.
I'd like to invite Amy to come to our first one-on-one or person-to-person meeting, and please bring along some of these cookies. I'm really very about that. Thank you, Amy.
I get a lot of good invitations because I offer to bring cookies.
Oh, wow.
All right, Amy. Let's hear from you. Tell us about you.
Well, you guys, I mean, I have to say that I'm very honored, a little embarrassed, humbled to have this offered to me, this award. When Mr. McFarland came to me, I actually said, you know, my choice would be Dennis. And after that would be Heather and Sister Jean. You know, these are the people that I look up to. These are my mentors. This is the philosophy that I try to embed in my life and in the way that I live. And like Heather said, I've known her for decades, and she's always been a guiding light for me, and a great help in the things that I've tried to accomplish, or my wild ideas that come to me. And I was hesitant to accept the award. I'm not like digging the spotlight or whatever, but I was offered the check for the Garden and Arts Club, and like Mr. McFarland said, it's dear to my heart, and anything I can do for the club. And I am going to shamelessly plug our meeting. We have our monthly general meeting and special presentation coming up a week from yesterday, Thursday, the 28th, via Zoom. And Sister Jean, what we were talking about before about isolation during the pandemic, our club is trying to develop ways for people to come together. We've got not only the monthly community meeting where we provide a presentation, but we're trying to develop online art and garden. Like we're developing one called Talking Dirty, which is going to be gardeners getting together and sharing their things. And then I'm putting together an open studio, a creative space where we just come together and produce together. People show their work that they're working on, and just to share space and to be together, which is what I love. I'm a Natoman. I've lived here for 20 years, raised 4 children here. I'm a Sacramentan. I've lived in Sacramento for more years than I haven't, and I'm a California native born. And I love Natomas because I think Natomas is an encapsulation. And when I say Natomas, I mean North Sacramento. I mean all of our communities. It's a great encapsulation of what I consider to be the good life, California style. And I think that all the efforts that the Rotary Club, that Chalk It Up, that the Garden and Arts Club, that N Magazine, Stanford Settlement, all these great efforts together exemplify what is the best and most beautiful in Natomas, in California, in Sacramento, all the things that in humanity in general. And I'm here to do this work, and I will be here. And I'm happy to be a part of the Rotary Club. I will definitely lend my support in every way possible to everything. And thank you guys. You guys are just very kind. I appreciate it.
Right. Thank you so much, Amy. What I did mention is watch for an article in your picture in N Magazine, right, Dennis? Coming up next month.
It's,
Love N Magazine.
It's on my desktop right now.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Congratulations, Mayor. And Dennis, thank you so much. You're so welcome to stay, but we thank you for your attendance, for your words. And Amy, we love you and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. I have to go. I have a tutoring job. I have to go. But
All
thank
right.
you guys again. I love you
Thank you,
all.
Amy.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks a
Be in
lot.
touch.
Bye.
See you at the
Congratulations.
meeting next week. Next week,
Yes, you
Thursday.
will.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Sal, I'll turn it back to you.